AITA for not wanting my dad to come to my college graduation. For starters, my relationship with my dad is basically gone. I haven't talked to him in many years now besides short one-liners as a response for basic yes/no questions. Over these couple of years, I truly believe he is narcissist and a man-child. I still go back home during the school breaks, so it's not like I've been no contact with him as my mom and siblings still live with him. My mom and sibling just deals with it day after day, but I'm just so fed up with him that it just really pisses me off from just hearing his voice. To be fair, I've read some post. He's not as extreme to be physically abusive, but my mom says he was when I was little, but has stopped probably due to me having grown up and on my mom's side, but definitely mentally. He's been following this alpha male-like mindset from different racial culture but roughly same ideas mindset where he believes that women are supposed to be obedient and just raise children, and as the man, everyone needs to listen to him or else it is disrespectful to him. He claims that it is in a boy's nature to side with his mother, which is why we all dislike him. My mom told me that he used to send her like alpha male propaganda once every month and then tell her that this is how a family is supposed to function. It taught him that he needs to manipulate it to get what he wants. Problem is that this doesn't work the other way around. If he wants something, he has to get it. For example, we live in a pretty small apartment, so there's only so much room for all of us to share the bathroom and kitchen. He wakes up, takes over both the kitchen and bathroom from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. making size and stuffs if we happen to be using it and he suddenly needs it. He leaves all the sinks on at max even if he isn't going to use it and yells at you if you tell him to turn off the sinks because it's wasting water. He like to complain about the power bills and why they're so high. Then you see him same night, turning on the heater for 8 hours straight, and when you tell him that's the issue, he claims it's not him. When my sibling or I talk back, he just blames it on my mom for teaching us to talk back to him. Better yet, my mom does all the man stuff like house repair. I'm not even sure if my dad knows how to use a screwdriver. Another area about him that really ticks me off is his ego. He loves talking about himself and how smart he is. You can see him all the time watching these game shows and is constantly praising himself for how fast he can answer and how dumb others are. Constant downplay on others for their achievements because you know for a fact, he cannot do it himself. Whenever we go to a friend's house, all you can hear is him bluffing about himself. More recently, he's been talking less about himself and more about me and my siblings' achievements. It's just so ridiculous. The area that I hate most about him is how whiny he is about literally anything that doesn't go his way. I'm fairly certain he also has OCD, as things that take a couple seconds to clean apparently justifies the need to yell at all of us for 30 seconds and demonstrate that we are incompetent as compared to him. Or sometimes asking him to do a small task causes him to sigh for 5 seconds then yell at us for being so reliant, even though the amount of time spent before asking him to doing something far exceeds that time. As for my mom and why she's still fine with this, I have no clue. I've told her multiple times that she is the reason why he keeps taking advantage of her. Yet, she still doesn't change. She works multiple jobs almost every day, then still has to come home to cook and everything for the rest of the family, while my dad works 3 days a week at a restaurant and comes home demanding all sorts of things. He sleeps like 12 hours every day, after doing whatever he does till 12 p.m. watches movies for basically the next 6 hours and goes to take a nap and repeats until bedtime. Sometimes my mom ends up coming home sick and nauseated and still has to cook for the family. She even gets yelled at if my dad ends up sick, claiming that she made him sick. Every month or so, my mom would tell me what new absurd thing he has done and how she is going to treat him like a housemate from now on. Then a couple weeks later, she forgives him. Like I know she hates him for what happened in the past. This might be too revealing personal info, but she just ends up feeling bad and reverting. Nowadays, when I go home for the break, I still see it happen, just not towards me because he know that I've blocked him from my life. He doesn't even dare talk to me, instead asks my mom to ask for him, but I still cannot forgive him. And he doesn't even know why he told my sibling this, like he truly doesn't think he's ever done wrong. Now, I've only been listing bad things about him. That's because all his good deeds come with a twist, as in, it will be used against you when you have an argument with him in the future through "I've done this for you and this is what I get back" type of argument. Before I leave for school, he always slides a couple thousand onto my table and says this is for you to spend. But knowing what could possibly happen with me taking that, I don't ever touch the money. Another is we don't have a dryer, so he tends to handle all the washing machine stuff and does all the air drying. Problem is, he builds an ego from that. He is considered the only one that knows how to operate the washing machine, and if someone else does, they are breaking it. He likes to yell at us if we happen to mess up his perfect clothes hanging. He gets pissed if we wash the bed sheets more often than normal and complains about how much work it is wash, even though it's 30 seconds to load and 10 more to put in detergent and press the button. But now actually the good side, he does seem to be proud of me. My mom tells me that he wishes that my sibling could be half as motivated with school as I am. These past years, he's been doing more housework like washing the dishes each night, though I don't think he does this anymore. He's nearing retirement in a couple months, and he already planned this like 10 years ago that he would take it as soon as it comes. He hasn't worked as much as he thought, so his retirement funds are that high and probably not even enough for rent. I don't know. I know it's not as extreme as other posts I've seen here, hence why I feel the need to make this, as I don't know if I'm just over-exaggerating this situation. He doesn't fund my college education or anything, so there's no dependency there. My mom thinks because he's my dad, I need to just give in these couple of days and let him come. I very clearly stated to her, if I see him for more than 5 seconds, my entire graduation will be of me pissed off. I personally feel obligated that I need to show that his actions has consequences, as no matter what has been done so far, he doesn't feel the need to change. I just don't want to make my mom sad or anything. She seems like she genuinely wants him to come just so he could see my campus and graduation once. I will definitely be burning the bridge with this action, so I just need some advice on if I am making the right decision. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm just being the off or not allowing him to redeem himself, since I just assume he already won't.